Hello everyone, welcome back to Literature and Language Launch. Have you ever wondered how a 13-year-old girl living during one of history's darkest periods inspired millions through her simple diary? Today's chapter from the Diary of Anne Frank is much more than a lesson from your textbook. It is a real life story of courage, hope, friendship, and the healing power of writing. So, without wasting any time, let's first understand the background of the story because once you know the historical context, the chapter becomes much easier to understand. From the Diary of Anne Frank is adapted from the Diary of a Young Girl, one of the most famous diaries ever written. Anne Frank belonged to a Jewish family. During World War II, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi government began persecuting Jewish people across Europe. To escape this persecution, Anne's family went into hiding in Amsterdam, where she started writing her diary after receiving it as a birthday gift. She named her diary Kitty and shared all her thoughts, fears, dreams, and experiences with it. After the war, Anne's father, Otto Frank, published the diary, and today it has become one of the world's most inspiring autobiographical works. Although the CBSE chapter focuses mainly on Anne's school life before going into hiding, understanding this background helps us appreciate her thoughts and personality. Now that we know who Anne Frank was and why her diary became so famous, let's move to the introduction of the chapter. From the Diary of Anne Frank is an autobiographical diary entry written by Anne Frank. Unlike an autobiography, which is written after many years, a diary records thoughts exactly as they happen. In this chapter, Anne explains why she started writing a diary. She also introduces her family, her school life, her teachers, and especially her mathematics teacher, Mr. Keesing. The chapter beautifully presents N as an intelligent, humorous, honest, and confident young girl. Now that we have understood what the chapter is about, let's quickly look at its overall storyline through the overview. Anne Frank feels lonely even though she has loving parents and many friends. She realizes that she has no one with whom she can freely share her deep thoughts. Therefore, she begins writing a diary, names it Kitty, treating it as her closest friend. The chapter then shifts to Anne's school life. Her mathematics teacher, Mr. Keesing, considers her too talkative and repeatedly punishes her by asking her to write essays. Instead of getting upset, Anne uses her intelligence and humor to complete every assignment creatively. Eventually, Mr. Keesing appreciates her wit and stops punishing her. The chapter highlights Anne's confidence, creativity, optimism, and positive attitude. That was the overall picture of the chapter. Now let's understand every important event step by step through the detailed summary. The chapter begins with Anne's explaining why she chose to write a diary. She says that paper has more patience than people because people often interrupt or judge us, whereas paper silently listens. Although Anne has many friends, she feels emotionally lonely. She wants someone who can understand her feelings without criticizing her. So she names her diary Kitty and begins writing to it as if it were her best friend. Next, Anne introduces herself. She tells readers that she was born on 12 June 1929 in Frankfurt, Germany. Later, because of political situations under the Nazis, her family moved to Amsterdam. She briefly introduces her parents and her sister Margaret and then talks about her school life. Like every student, she worries about her examination results. Although she feels confident about most subjects, she is slightly worried about mathematics. Here we meet one of the most interesting characters of the chapter, Mr. Keesing, Anne's mathematics teacher. He often becomes annoyed because Anne talks continuously during his class. As punishment, he asks her to write an essay titled A Chatterbox. Instead of feeling embarrassed, Anne writes a thoughtful essay. She argues that talking is a student's natural habit and that she inherited it from her mother. Mr. Keesing smiles but gives her another essay. This time the topic is an incorrigible chatterbox. Once again, N cleverly completes the task, but Mr. Keesing is still not satisfied. He gives N a third assignment with a funny title. Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. This time, N's friend Sen helps her write the essay in the form of a humorous poem. The poem tells the story of a mother duck and three ducklings who are punished for quacking too much until a fox eats them. The poem is so funny and imaginative that Mr. Keesing laughs heartily. He finally realizes that N is not only talkative but also exceptionally creative and intelligent. From that day onwards, he never punishes her for talking again. This incident beautifully shows that intelligence, creativity, and a positive attitude can solve problems more effectively than anger or fear. Now that we have completed the story, let's understand the most important lesson that Anne Frank leaves us, all of us. From the diary of Anne Frank is much more than a simple diary entry. It is a timeless lesson about courage, hope, honesty, self expression, and optimism, and teaches us that writing can become our closest friend and that difficult situation should never stop us from dreaming, learning, and expressing ourselves. Even today, her diary continues to inspire millions of readers across the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Literature and Language Launch for more classes of 10th CBSE English lessons.